Barbie is a bust and Oppenheimer is the bomb.com. And yes, there will be many videos made on other channels about those topics. I've already had a review of Barbie up on the Pro Show Live, and we'll have more coverage over the weekend. But what I want to talk about today has to do with Disney. You see, for years and years, people have told us that Disney is fine, that the people who are shouting and angry at what Disney is doing, they're in the wrong, and they're small, and they're tiny and unimportant. Now, Bob Iger is realizing that he's going to have to sell huge chunks of Disney. And that same media that told you that your opinions didn't matter, well, they're not forthrightly explaining why Disney is going up for auction. All right, folks, welcome back to another beautiful day out there on this planet Earth, spaceship Earth, if you will. We hope you're having a wonderful day, just as we are here on the WDW Pro channel. And folks, it's so good to have you. If you wouldn't mind, share with us a little bit of positivity by clicking that like button, share, subscribe, and when you click it, you do indeed stick it to the algorithms, and it is the notification bell. Today, we are endeavoring to explain entertainment by explaining why Disney seems to be up for sale. Huge chunks of it. The company at large, however, is not for sale. That has to do with the fact that buying Disney would be incredibly difficult for any company that was interested. So those rumors that perhaps Apple wants to buy Disney or some other group, maybe Amazon, very hard to see that happening simply because of all the hurdles you would have to jump through, as governments around the world would seem to be not in favor of monopolies, and well, those kinds of decisions could result in such a thing. However, Disney is perhaps for sale in pieces, and we're going to explain why. In order to do so, let's start with the New York Post, this by Alexandra Stigrad. Disney CEO Bob Iger in damage control mode over possible sale of ABC and ESPN. Now, we talked about this on the Pro Show and discussed exactly what is going on with Bob Iger, but I want to bring some additional information to bear on this. So, this article talks about the fact that Bob Iger is looking to sell huge parts of the company, ABC, linear television, some of the channels that they own. Heck, they may even sell the Disney Channel. I don't think that's true. It'll probably go defunct before then. But if we take a look at right here, Iger met with senior leaders of the television group and reaffirmed his commitment to the value of the business and also ABC News, this was said, adding that he was doing some damage control and reverting back to the previous talking points. Now, why is Bob Iger going to ABC and recommitting his the value of the business? Well, let's explain this, folks. First of all, you have to understand why Iger has even mentioned that huge parts of the company might be for sale, i.e. ABC, ABC News, FX, natgeo, etc. The reason is because Disney is on the hook to buy Hulu. They have already put in some of the work we hear for the infrastructure of merging Hulu and Disney Plus together. That was not inexpensive. And Comcast, the third of Hulu that they own, it's going to go to Disney, and negotiations are underway. Arbitration is happening. Now, Disney has entered into the idea that they would be able to buy that third of Hulu for about $10-12 billion. Billion, that's a lot of money. But the problem here is that Comcast asserts it's worth way more, even as high as $30 billion. That means arbitration may land this thing somewhere between 20 and 24 billion. Problem being, Disney doesn't have the money. So that is why Bob Iger is out there saying, well, we might have to sell ABC, we might have to sell, these other channels. Now, ESPN, here's the deal on this. ESPN is very unlikely to be sold by the Walt Disney Company. However, we are hearing from various sources that Disney is looking for some sort of novel partnership program to bring in somebody to help with ESPN. We're not exactly sure what that's about yet, and we're doing some investigation. Keep checking back on the channel for more information on this. Now, all of that said, why is Iger going to meet with the senior leaders and reaffirming the commitment to the value of the business? You'll notice that this is very sly. Let me read it again for you, folks. Iger met with senior leaders of the television group and reaffirmed his commitment to the value of the business and also ABC News. Now, what he's not doing there, and this is you need to be able to read the news this way, read between the lines and notice what they omit. He is not saying that they're not going to sell ABC or ABC News or any of these other groups inside the television division. He doesn't say that. He doesn't say, oh, that was a slip up, we're not selling you. No, he reaffirms his commitment to the value of the business and also ABC News. Again, this is why we are here to explain entertainment for you. Why would Iger reaffirm his commitment to the value of the business and of ABC News if he's planning to sell it? Well, it's simple. If you demoralize and destroy this division before you sell it for far less. So of course he's reaffirming commitment to the value of the business. How are you going to sell something that you don't believe has value and that you have asserted publicly has no value? Well, that would be very difficult. So of course Bob Iger is asserting the value. Now, and of course we've got here among his comments was that Iger would be open to finding a strategic partner for ESPN. Rumors have also swirled that he may spin off ABC, etc. The source said Iger's undisciplined off-message remarks last Thursday sent shockwaves through Disney, which along with ABC and ESPN also owns FX and National Geographic. The head honcho told CNBC last Thursday that he did not anticipate the degree to which legacy television networks would be struggling. Can't imagine why not. And that he would be open to selling or spinning off Disney's cable networks. And he is. But here's the thing. Nowhere in this article it mentioned that the entire purpose for this is buying Hulu. And this is why we do what we do each and every day, folks. Because here's the deal. There is no reason for Bobby Iger and the rest of Disney to sell ABC when what you could do is simply begin to transition that business to something that works inside the new streaming landscape. There's no reason that ABC could not be a blade within Disney Plus. There's no reason. You could have Hulu, you could have ABC, and those would be great. Well, except that ABC is not great in terms of content. And the issue as well is they need cash and they need cash fast. They need to go and get that money, and they need that money for Hulu. Otherwise, they would not be selling ABC or ABC News or any of these other channels. They would bundle them into a streaming service. They would say, well, whatever we make on cable, that's great, that's wonderful, but these are primarily streaming platforms now, which have been brought into the Disney Plus family, etc. That's the normal way of handling this. And so the analysis that they are selling all of these entities because they're failing and because it's a new world and streaming is king and cable is dumb and it's gone. Well, no, the cord cutters are not the cause of this. Because in a normal world, what you would do is just simply transition these to streaming. The fact that they're not doing that, the fact that they are attempting to make the sale instead, suggests that Disney needs cash right away. And that is the analysis that you are not hearing anywhere else. Let's finish this up, though. The 72-year-old CEO who started his career at the company in 1972 as a weatherman on ABC, by the way, it's a little cloudy lately at Disney, has always talked about his passion for the network, a Disney insider told CNN. It's great to say he loves the jewel. It's great to say that the jewel is important. It's great to say that the jewel is fun, the insider said, but he has revealed the truth. He wants to get the highest price he can for the jewel because he can't afford it anymore. I also find it funny that to these people who write these articles, and perhaps this is part and parcel of the fact that it's coming out of journalism, out of the media, they view ABC and ABC News as the jewel. When in fact, the jewel is Walt Disney World and the other Disney parks, but primarily Walt Disney World. That's the jewel. That is the massive revenue generating source for the company, and which they have just drugged this thing down. By the way, video coming out at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time today on the fact that Walt Disney World finally is losing crowds, and it's no surprise because the quality has dropped. But the jewel these people believe is ABC and ABC News. They think The View is where all the money is to be made. That's ridiculous. And Iger realizes that if he's going to sell anything, he's going to have to sell those parts of the company, which also probably hurt them. Another Disney source told the Post that even though Iger is tamping down fears, he knows the writing is already on the wall for linear TV at the media giant. And again, here's the spin. There's nowhere in here that's a mention of Hulu. It's like if you went to the bank and you needed to buy a loan for a house, but instead of asking for money for a house, you just kept saying over and over about how you were planning to sell a vase or, those drapes, I'm thinking about selling those. And, you never mentioned, oh, well, the reason I'm doing an estate sale and coming to the bank is because I need to buy a new home. Well, you wouldn't be well served, and the banker would not know what's going on if you were just talking about the little things. And this is a case, by the way, of how the media is spinning this because they don't understand the Hulu situation or they don't want to talk about it. But anyway, here's what they said. Everybody has known for some time that the linear TV networks are declining. I think he gave voice to something. He has to transform the business and get rid of parts that are not performing or that are dragging them down. But again, folks, all they have to do is put these things into the streaming giant that should be called Disney Plus, and then make good content. It's as simple as that. Make good content, and people will watch it. They could do that. They don't want to do that. They want to sell it. So they need money, and they need money now. All right, folks, we have had a wonderful, wonderful July so far, but we're getting even more July. That's right. Coming back to the Pro Show next week, Thursday, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Eric July returns. The Rippaverse is back after technical issues from a week ago. They're there to explain all kinds of things to us regarding independent media and the rise of the independent creator. Can't wait to get into that. We will also have tons and tons of Barbie coverage, Oppenheimer coverage, and can you believe the folks over at Mattel may be in full freakout mode as they are terrified that the same situation that has occurred to other companies over the past 6 months, where they have nosedove, I don't know how you say it, but anyway, you get the idea. These companies have collapsed after they have attempted to push very divisive advertising and content. Well, Mattel, they're a little bit worried about Margot Robbie and what's going on with the Barbie movie. It may also be a tipping of the hat that Greta Gerwig's time is up when it comes to general audiences. Those Chronicles of Narnia under her control, probably not going to happen, and if it does, it's going to be a disaster. There's some other stuff, too, that we'll be talking about in that regard. You are not going to want to miss a thing. Tons and tons of great content on the way. And as always, we will cover breaking news as it happens. Well, folks, if you like content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and when you click it, you stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. I have come to a close here, I believe. But for you, let's just get started. Drop a comment down below. Tell me your thoughts. Let me know what you think. I really do care. I really do read them. And sometimes I respond. Drop a comment down below. Share your mind with me, please. And folks, the Pro Show was yesterday. We had Mr. H reviews on. Go check it out. We've got the Barbie review in there, and we have tons more Disney info. That goes offline after 48 hours and goes into the Pro Archives. If you'd like to become a member of the channel and get access to those archives, we would love to have you. Members are the electricity that drives it all. Well, folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Floral, it's time for you to walk the plank.
What? Why?
Cuz you haven't subscribed to WDW Pro yet. Nor bookmark thatparkplace.com on your web browser to get great articles from great contributors.
What?